We are located in BA2 101. Now, we're not necessarily going to be in the office full time this semester due to COVID, but we are able to help you virtually in any way, shape, or form that you need us. Also, our office houses a lot of resources for you as a student. And we like to share our resources in a way that allows our students to use the resources no matter if we're in the office or out of the office. So we have an OPD web course, not only for our FTI students, FTIC students, but also for our transfer students. So you'll see yourself already enrolled in the Office of Professional Development's resource web course. Okay. The other thing that we want to mention to you is we have a LinkedIn group. And on there, we post a lot of our information about what's going on in the college, what's going on in our office, different events that we have coming up, just to keep you in the loop. Okay. And we know that all students don't receive information the same way. So we like to give you a lot of different options to receive information, which may be overwhelming to some people, but also it gives you the opportunity to, at 2 a.m. in the morning, look at LinkedIn or look at the Office of Professional Development OPD web course and find the information that it is that you need. We also have a career resource website, which is great for developing your professional self outside of making an appointment with a career coach or coming into the office or something like that. So, our advising team, that first tier that I talked about, we have peer advisors in our office. So, as Jen talked about, the students being able to give you that one on one, hands on type of relationship to to your academics. That's what we have in our office is peer advisors. So we call them our A team. That's our advising team. They help you with schedule planning, which is coming into the office or sending an email, which is what we've done for the past 3 semesters due to COVID. Schedule planning via email, where you'll send in your information in regards to like your UCF ID. You'll say how many classes you want to take for that semester, and then the academic advisors will schedule plan you, meaning they'll tell you what classes to take in that next semester. Okay. They'll also help you with registration errors. So, as a transfer student, a lot of times you'll come over with a lot of different credits that have already transferred that are prerequisites to courses that you're going to need to take into college. And a lot of times the audit is not that smart and doesn't read it well. So you have the registration errors saying that you aren't able to register for a course that you actually have the prerequisites for. So no worries. We have registration forms for you that are able to get you that permission to register for that course. And they also give academic guidance as well. So academic guidance meaning they've taken the courses that you are going to take or you are taking. So they know what courses to kind of combine together, which can kind of give you that balance of the quantitative and qualitative courses that will give you a good balance to kind of transition into UCF. So yes, UCF is big, UCF is huge. You don't want to get lost in the mix. So you want to make sure that you have a good balance of the qualitative and the quantitative courses to successfully get through your academic career here. One other thing that I do want to mention before we go to the grad progression specialist is with academic guidance, the students, the peer advisors also know which professors to take and which ones not to take, but you didn't hear that from me. Grad progression specialists. So we have those in our office as well that definitely go over lack of progress. And lack of progress is maybe you didn't do so well this semester. So, how do you move forward in the next semester to make sure that you keep your GPA up to where it should be? Okay. And then we have graduation checks. So, once you get to that point where you're ready to graduate, all of your courses have been completed. You do a graduation check just to make sure there's nothing else that you need to take before that coming semester that you're going to put in your intent to graduate, okay, which is that next portion. Your intent to graduate is your way of saying to the university, hey, I'm finished, I'm ready to graduate, okay? So we hope that you all get to that point, and it will come quickly. So definitely make sure to keep in touch with the advising team to make sure that you're on track to graduate progressively. Okay. Here is the career development team, which I said I was a part of. We handle all of your preliminary professional development resources. So when it comes to creating and developing your professional self, that's what our team is here for. So we'll help you with creating your resume, your LinkedIn profile. We'll help you with mock interviews. But one of the things that is very important upon coming into the college is making sure that you've chosen the right major. So I like to tell students a lot of times you want to start there with making sure that you've explored careers, because a lot of times we come in and we're, already headstrong about what it is we want to do, but not really sure where it's going to take us. Okay, so definitely make an appointment to have those conversations with our team. Um, we do have group cluster sessions. So in order to meet with us one on one, the prerequisite to that is to attend a group cluster session. And we have group cluster sessions for resume reviews, LinkedIn reviews, career exploration, um, so that you'll be able to get a broad overview of what these things are and how we can assist you with them one on one. But you'll also be more prepared for the one on one appointment when that does come. You'll have a resume created at least. You'll know where our templates are located. You'll know the resources that we have for you before that time comes, so that you can make the most of that 45-minute appointment. Okay. Yes. All right. So here is our employer relations team, which I told you Cheryl is a part of. She is a career coach on the employer relations team, and she's part of the internship side of things. Her and Shelby will help you with internship search, and Shelby is our internship coordinator. So what happens on the internship side of things is once you meet with the career development team, that's your first stop. Okay, you want to make sure that you're completely prepared professionally to speak with the employer relations team. So that means you've had your resume reviewed, you had your LinkedIn profile review, you've done a mock interview, which means you're ready to speak to an employer. Okay. Um, the internship coordinator and also our internship search career coach Cheryl will be able to help you search for an internship. But what we want to do is make sure that you're ready to actually speak to an employer once you've put in those internship applications. So don't try to jump the gun on the employer relations team to just, because everybody does want to get an internship. You want to get some experience, but there's a method to the madness. Okay. So there's steps in order for you to get to that point. Um, Once you speak with them, they will guide you through the internship process, looking for an internship, and then the possibility of being able to use that internship for credit, which is an awesome opportunity. It's killing two birds with one stone, right? So a lot of our majors in the college have the opportunity to do an internship for credit where you're replacing a course that you would normally have to take, a restricted elective or a business elective, where you can replace that for an internship. So literally you're working, getting paid for the internship, and also using that as a class. Okay. Which is mind blowing, right? So you have the opportunity to use that towards not only your classes, not only killing two birds with one stone, but don't forget it also goes on your resume. Okay. And if we're talking about get to the one, get to the one, get to the one, which you will continuously hear throughout your academic career here in the College of Business, it's your way to get to the one, because experience is what creates opportunity for you to get to the one. Okay. Um, and we'll see testimonies later on in the presentation that prove just that. Okay. Other members of our employee relations team, we have Kimberly Williams, who you will start to see when you become a senior, when you're looking for a full-time job, after you've gotten your internships with Cheryl and Shelby. And then we have Stephanie. And now Stephanie is a person that you probably won't see much of, but she is very vital to our employee relations team. She's our employer liaison and allows or goes out and gets companies that are interested in our College of Business students to be able to get those internships and those jobs upon graduation. Okay. So as the career development team does, the employee relations team also has group cluster sessions um, under their umbrella as well. So you'll want to get into some of their group cluster sessions, but then they also have one-on-one appointments as well. So with job search strategies, employer outreach, um, recommendations to employers, you have the ability to utilize all of these services under the employee relations team. So when you build a connection with Shelby and Cheryl and Kimberly, you have the opportunity to use their resources or use the college's resources to get a recommendation to an employer. So let's say, for instance, you are a student, you've been speaking with Cheryl for a while. She knows what you're interested in, she knows what you're looking for, she knows your strengths, she's seen your resume, she's seen your LinkedIn profile. She has um, no other choice but to brag about you, right, to an employer. And when she brags about you to an employer, it says to this employer, oh, hey, Cheryl's already told us about this student. So yeah, we're going to bring them in for an interview. So it may not necessarily give you a job, but it does give you that step in the right direction or that foot in the door that other students may not have because they haven't met with the employer relations team. So definitely use the employer relations team to your advantage. The students who have definitely appreciate it. Um, Also, the promotion of internships and job opportunities via Nightline and Hot Jobs. So what you're going to see um, pretty soon is we have a website in the College of Business called Nightline. Okay. And we have over 700 employer contacts. Right now, we have 72 active jobs and 94 active internships. Okay. And as you can see, in spring 2019, we had almost 5,000 applications submitted, 84 new companies, and then 490 opportunities that were posted. Okay. So this is big. This is huge for our college. Um, it's used as a way to cater to College of Business students because there are other opportunities and other platforms for you to use in which you can get to the one, right? But Nightline is definitely geared toward College of Business students. The companies that are on Nightline are looking for College of Business students. They're not looking for anyone else. They're looking for you. So use that as an opportunity to set yourself up for success by keeping yourself informed about what's on Nightline, searching the jobs, posting your resume, creating your profile, answering all the questions in your profile, and applying for those open positions. And when you do apply for those open positions, have a conversation with someone on the employee relations team. Hey, I applied for this position. What do you think? Have them take a look at your resume to see how you match up with the position. And then you may be able to get a recommendation. Okay. Remember, the recommendation gets you the foot in the door. All right. All right. So the opportunities that are on Nightline right now. So as you can see, based on major, there are opportunities, vast opportunities, not only by industry, but also by job title, um, by internship title. So Central Square Technologies with management, down to real estate with equity investment services, or economics with the Dr. Phillips Center for Performing Arts. Um, so as you can see, there's a vast majority of companies in the Central Florida area, which is where the majority of our companies are on Nightline. But the thing about it is, we have a lot of international companies and national companies as well that we can have. If you're thinking about moving out of the Central Florida area, we can get you connected with different recruiters and things like that that are outside of the Central Florida area. So definitely use this as an advantage. You definitely have an advantage as a college of business student over other colleges. No other college has its own job board. Okay, so you've definitely chose the right college at the University of Central Florida.
Right. Thank you, Sleisha. I'm going to take over now. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. It's our pleasure to be here. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Get to the One. Professor Johnson mentioned to you that the College of Business has a culture of engagement, which we'll talk about in a little bit, as well as getting you out of your comfort zone. This is something that I could not agree with more. It's something that'll also benefit you all throughout your profession, throughout your career, even once you get out of the College of Business. There are going to be many situations that get you out of your comfort zone. So what better way to start than in college, right? So getting to the one is something that you've read about, where it came from, that slogan from our dean. And what that means to us is getting you to be the one that gets the interview, that gets the internship, that gets the job, getting you the promotion, getting you into grad school, getting you to be an entrepreneur and start your own company if that's what your goals are. At the college or the Office of Professional Development, we're here not only to prepare you, but also to guide you along the way, to make sure that you feel good with what your goals are and help it keep you motivated to stay on track. So as you can see here with the little congratulations that we have, like with Matthew and Claudia, Shane, Heather, these are all little things that we post. We want to celebrate you as well. We celebrate your wins, getting you to the one and letting other people know that you got there and how you got there. So just keeping that in mind, you're going to hear this a lot throughout your time here at UCF of how you can get to the one. So the steps to get to the one. Choose the right major. That is a number one thing. If you don't feel good about what you're studying now and doing now and in college, you're not going to feel good about that once you get out of college. So helping you to choose the right major is something that I know Sleisha, it's close to her heart as well as mine, where, we want to help you with that. So if it's something that you're really not passionate about, or you're just not sure of what your options are, meet with the career development team. They're so good at helping you to figure that out. And once you figure out the right major, all of the other things will kind of line up once you start doing the work, like getting prepared. That's one of them, but also you want to make sure that you have that stellar resume and LinkedIn profile, which we'll get into in just a few minutes. Getting engaged and then getting that experience to get you to the one. So step one, choosing the right major. If you're not sure, a great way to start would be job shadowing. It's a lot less of a commitment than an internship would be. So, job shadowing with a professional either that you already know or a contact of yours, or even reaching out on LinkedIn. We talk about that a lot in our networking clusters about how to reach out to people for informational interviews, for job shadowing. Job shadowing could be a few hours just to kind of pick their brain, to see how they work, see exactly what they do on a day-to-day basis. It's great for figuring out what it is you actually want to do. So if you have a couple different options in mind, or a couple different tracks that you thought of, job shadowing is a great way to figure that out. And then informational interviews. If you're not sure what an informational interview is, basically that's you choosing someone in the profession that you want to get into, and then asking them questions about that profession. What do they do on a day-to-day basis? What are their favorite things about this? Is there anything they would do differently on their track to where they are now? There are so many different questions that you can ask. We can go through those with you as well as career coaches, just to kind of help you to navigate it. One thing you don't want to do if you're requesting an informational interview from a professional is take up too much of their time. So having everything already organized, navigate your way through that informational interview like a pro. And we're more than happy to help you with that as well. Another great way to help you choosing the right major, which you'll be partaking in GEB classes, is the My Plan. The My Plan assessment is basically it's putting together all of the things that would make a great career for you. So it's your interests, it's your skills, values assessments. So many different aspects go into it. based on the questions that they ask, and they compile it at the end and can tell you exactly, not say exactly, take that back. It gives you a list of things that you may be good at, and that's a kind of where you can start if you're really not sure. You can start there and do the research from there as well. And that's a lot of what the career development meetings are about. It's really kind of getting to know you and figuring out what it is that you want to do and helping you to align those goals with your actions. So step 2. So first thing we want to do is get prepared. And we talked about that with the career development team. That's what they're going to do, is help you to get prepared for the next steps. So getting prepared, making sure that you are taking part of the career clusters. That is a great way to kind of get a larger basis, listening to other students, your peers, ask questions that you may have either thought of but didn't want to ask, or you never thought of the question. You can get so much out of those sessions and those group sessions. We're constantly sharing examples of things that we've seen, not only with our own experiences, but also with the experiences that come from the students, and the students that we have all guided and coached through the years, which are quite a bit. Every semester it's something different. So we want to make sure that we're getting you prepared through those career cluster sessions first. So we have career exploration, as Salisha mentioned earlier, and then resume review. You have to have a great resume in order to take that next step. You don't want to start applying for positions, whether that be jobs, internships, or even looking into job shadowing or informational interviews without having a solid resume that someone asks you for it. You should be able to send that off to them, ready to go. Even if it's not filled with experience right now, just with something clear, professional that you can add to as you go through your journey. So making sure that those career coach group sessions also have the networking and interviewing aspect to them, which I'll get into. You do get GEB points for these as well. So you want to make sure that you are, we have different criteria once you're in there as far as keeping your being engaged. Talk about that culture of engagement, making sure that you have your camera on, that you're engaging in the chat when we ask questions and things like that. And then one-on-one in-depth meetings. Again, Salisha mentioned that with the career development side, but also with the employer relations side. And LinkedIn. I can't say enough good things about LinkedIn. We have so many examples of how LinkedIn have helped each one of us as career coaches, our managers, students. We see it every day, and it couldn't be more true than now. With COVID and the pandemic and all, everything has pretty much gone to virtual, and LinkedIn has really become that #1 platform for being able to keep yourself out there and network with employers, research on jobs, things like that. We get way more into depth with that on the career cluster side for LinkedIn. So if you're not sure what LinkedIn is, or you're new to it, or you just want to, know what it is and you have a profile and you just want to learn more about it, definitely encourage you to jump into that LinkedIn career cluster and then make that one-on-one appointment with our career development side. So you do get the additional GEB points for that individual meeting after you've been in the career cluster session for resume and LinkedIn only. So that's kind of a double dip in the GEB point system there, but it's definitely well worth it. Again, all of this isn't necessarily just about points. It is getting you the grade, but also doing the work for that grade. And this class is great for that. It's great for getting your feet wet and really helping you to jump right in. So the resumes cluster, how to stand out, how to differentiate yourself. We have a couple different areas that we get into with the resume, helping you not only to formulate your resume with, standout bullets and experience and how to format that. That's important. But also, how to use this as a powerful tool and keep it living and breathing. Keep it updated as you go through. This will discuss components of a professional resume and provide you with tips and tricks for effectively tailoring your resume, not only for specific positions, but also to companies. And again, if you're in a broader major and you have a couple different career paths that you thought about within that major, you can tailor your resume to those and then send it out appropriately. So our LinkedIn is really about building your personal brand, which is a big part of networking. If somebody comes across your LinkedIn profile, we want to make sure that you're marketing yourself as the professional that you want to be. Not as necessarily as a UCF student right now, but actually as the professional that you want to be. So that's why it's so important to make sure you're on the right path with your major first in order to get to this point so that you're clear. Because if you're clear, your message will be clear to the employers. So the best way to raise that visibility among employers is to create a cohesive, compelling personal brand for yourself. Easy to do that through LinkedIn once you're clear on what that is. And this cluster also will answer any questions that you have about LinkedIn. It shows you, we have so many different tips. We use LinkedIn every single day. Professionals that we come in contact with, employers that we come in contact with use LinkedIn every single day. Recruiters will look at your LinkedIn profile. Sometimes they'll look at it before they even call you for an interview. So it's really important that that resume and LinkedIn profile really are putting your best foot forward. And those clusters are, again, a great way to figure that out and to make sure you're on the right track with that. So interviewing, how to ace your interview. This career cluster is one of my favorites because everyone is a little bit nervous about the interview, especially that first interview when you're not really sure what it is that they're going to ask you. Are you prepared? It's easy to get prepared just reading about the company, but you have to be prepared about your experience as well. So being able to have that resume done that okay, these are the points that I'm really proud about. These are my accomplishments. These are my goals. This is where I want to go. This is a little preparation. Practice goes a long way. So we will be practicing in this networking this career cluster as well. And then you also walk through different preparation advice and tips and things like that with an in-depth analysis on the interviewing process. Tips of how to be prepared. We'll also cover behavioral questions, which tend to throw people off in interviews. We get the questions all the time from students when they start to ask you for examples of your experience. You want to make sure that you know how to answer that. This cluster will definitely help you with that, just to help you to feel more at ease. With interviewing, you've done the work, you've prepped, you've gotten that callback, that's all part of the process. You've got your interview. The last thing you want to do is bomb the interview. So, getting that practice and making sure that you're prepared is definitely going to help you with the entire process and getting to the one. So networking and how to start and what to say. If you're anything like all of us when we first started out and we're still in college, we were all afraid of networking. Even hearing the word networking, made me nervous because you're generally what people think of is talking to strangers. We're told our whole life until we get to pretty much college, don't talk to strangers. So you want to make sure that you are clear on what networking is, how to start the process, and what to say in the process. If you know what to say, automatically we'll talk about your 30-second commercial, your elevator pitch. I'm sure you've all heard of that. You're going to hear about it a lot in your GEB class, and as well as through our clusters. We talk about it all the time in preparing for the different job fairs and things that we do have here, or if an employer comes and speaks in the exchange, we talk about all of that. So how to prepare, what to say, getting your elevator pitch down. We also talk about what it is, the difference between informal and formal situations in networking. You're really networking all the time, whether you realize it or not, but we get more in depth in that and help you to understand it a little bit more. We'll practice these interactions, practicing networking As Jen or Professor Johnson mentioned earlier, you are definitely going to be engaged throughout GEB at the very least, but you will be engaged. A lot of professors throughout the College of Business as well, that culture of engagement, that's what they're going to have you do within your classes as well. So getting comfortable with that, this is a great way to start attending the networking cluster. And then, of course, number 3, get engaged. That is what the College of Business is all about. It will definitely get more comfortable as you do it, I promise. It is one of those things that all of you are in the same boat. You're all of your peers. That's how you get to know each other, how you'll get to know employers, and really make the best out of your college career here at UCF. So we have different things here at UCF, just in the College of Business alone, to get you engaged. So you don't even have to go very far. I mean, there are different involvements throughout the university, but here at the College of Business, we do have a CBA mentorship program that you'll hear more about, as well as many, many clubs and organizations. These clubs and organizations are also tailored towards your major. But then you also have many clubs and organizations that could be something that you're interested in. It really runs the gamut. Our UCF College of Business website has those College of Business clubs and organizations on there. And you also have Student Life for UCF as a whole that has hundreds of different clubs and organizations that you can get involved in. The exchange, just being here, already starting that engagement, the exchange has so many great opportunities for you to hear from professionals in different professions, different career paths, those that have started their own businesses, very financially and successful entrepreneurs that come and speak to you as College of Business students because they want to give back. They want to, kind of tell you the mistakes that they've made and the great decisions that they've made to help you along the way. So it's a great way for you to hear that and get engaged through the exchange as well. Career fairs, we do have our invitational coming up February 19th. We have many different avenues with career fairs throughout the university as well. The invitational is your College of Business exclusive job fair. It is for you only. You do have to be invited. We'll get into that a little bit more as far as how to do that. The college or the Office of Professional Development is your way, as well as getting involved in the clusters and things like that. It is February 19th. It will be virtual this year. When we do get back to normal, it is generally in the venue, which is right behind the arena. It's a fairly large event with over 50 employers, and those employers come to see you again. They know that this is the College of Business exclusives. They're coming to meet you as College of Business students. These are some of the invitational employer partners that will be attending. This list will grow as we get closer. You'll get a list as well as some of the invitational opportunities to be invited to the invitational. So we have Holiday Inn, BB&T, Office Depot, as you can see, Grant Thornton, big names that are have been a part of our invitational every year. We have it in the spring and in the fall, twice a year. And, a lot of these employers also speak at the exchange, come out and do tabling once we are all back on campus. So there are many opportunities for you to get involved with these employers as well. But keep an eye out for more on the invitational. We'll definitely be marketing that in the coming weeks. And step 4, get experience. That's what all of this is about, right? It's the experience, your college experience, your academic experience, getting experience on your resume to start building that knowledge for your career. We have internship, externship, co-op opportunities. Meet the employers, the employer relations team members. Come meet with us. We are more than, that's what we're here for. We're here to help you. We're here to guide you, especially those of you that are new to the College of Business. When you're in our meetings, feel free to ask any questions. It doesn't have to be specific about your resume. If you're in front of one of us and you have a question about the College of Business as a whole, if we don't have the answer, we'll get it for you. That's what we're here. We're here to guide you on your journey. So also volunteer experience is amazing on your resume, especially if you're not ready yet for the commitment of an internship. Getting volunteer experience can go on your resume, and it can show not only initiative, but it can also show leadership abilities depending on what it is that you're doing within that volunteer experience. We have Volunteer UCF, a huge umbrella organization that has many different avenues of volunteering underneath it. So that's also something that you can kind of work into your schedule. Some of it's committal time-wise, some of it is not. So you can choose what would work best with your schedule. And then we have our study abroad, as Felicia mentioned, that it's very different to have a college that has their own study abroad department right inside of it. So feel free to reach out to them if you have any questions. We definitely recommend that you do that months ahead of time or semesters ahead of time. You want to say anywhere from 6 months to a year out, just to get some experience and kind of, with their processes and things like that, so that you know what you need to do once you are ready, and where to get that information of what kind of study abroad programs they'll have available. So we don't just take our word for it. We have talked for the last 35, 40 minutes. We do have students that come to us on a semester basis that want to tell about their experience, not only working with OPD, but also with their college experience as a whole here at College of Business. We have Stephanie here who has made some, great remarks. Frank, Hannah, we just know that we're here to help you. We want you all to have a great experience with the College of Business and with making sure that you're prepared and have all of the resources necessary to be successful.